Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to knock a hole in the wall of my garage and use some of this unused crawl space under here to create a secret hidden slide out 4-foot drawer that takes up this entire box. So behind there is unused crawl space. We're going to utilize the help of this Dovoh laser level to correctly put a little slight angle on the Unistrut that's going to be used to hang the drawer with the ball bearing, so when the drawer's out, if you let go, there'll be a little bit of a down angle so it slides back in automatically. But Dovoh reached out to me. I partnered with Dovoh on this video to kind of put this guy through its paces, but more on that later. There'll be a discount code in the description below. So yeah, let's get started. Many times throughout the project, I had to have that laser level on and also had a fairly bright halogen flashlight and a halogen standing light underneath. And that laser is extremely bright. Even in like complete flashlight, halogen light beams, you can still see the green light of that laser. So it's pretty powerful laser. If you ever need to find metal screws behind drywall and mud, and you don't want to mess up the drywall finding these screws, a little trick is to get a tiny magnet and kind of run it along the wall where you think those screws are, and then make a mark, and then just take a razor and carve a tiny little hole, and it'll reveal the screw head so you can take it out. I think all in, I probably spent about $350 on parts for this project. Got 3/4 inch ply from Home Depot plus the studs and the Unistrut. I think the only thing I got online were the bearings and some paint. So I'll put some links in the description of links that I have for the materials that I used. I want to highlight two very important things in this section of the video, things that you should not do. I'm using a grinder here to section out the Unistrut, and you'll notice there's no shield on the grinder. I do not recommend that. You should always have a shield on your grinder. And then the second thing to notice is that the sparks are going away from you, which means the wheel is going in a direction where if the wheel catches on that metal, the entire power tool is going to run right into my fingers and cause some serious injury. So do not do that. Have a shield on your grinder, and make sure if you're grinding metal that sparks are going towards you, which means the wheel is going in the right direction. All right, let's do a little quick unboxing and show you what we get with the package. I'll have a link in the description with discount code, of course. There'll be 3 different links for 3 different models. The one I'm using today is the K4-360G. So you got the unit itself, 2 batteries, rechargeable unit, USB cord, a little power port for the USB cord, Remote control for vertical and horizontal activation on the lines. Instruction manual. You've got this target, which is used to set up really far away. So the color of this plastic is really helpful for seeing the laser line if you're outside and really far away. So that's what this is used for. You've got a little elevator platform with micro adjustment. So this thing kind of opens up if you need to put the laser level and get some micro adjustments on it. Then lastly, you've got a wall mount, pretty trick little wall mount. So on the bottom of the laser level is a camera mount. You can put the camera mount here. You can attach it to a fence going this way. You can also open this guy up, and then this is a really strong magnet. So you can put the magnet on a wall, put the laser level on it, and this even also has adjustments as well, so up, down. Pretty neat little kit. I've been using it for a while, even dropped it a few times. It's pretty sturdy. You've got on-device USB-C charging, swappable battery here, on-off switch, and then some more controls on top. So the one thing I really do like about this laser level is that you can actually turn it on, and for my use, I'm gonna need to have like a 1 or 2 or 3 degree difference away from like level, and if you tilt it away from that, it beeps. But you can actually have a command where you can actually lock the line down. So I've got the laser level set up, and you might be able to see the line where I have to go. It's right on the edge of this 4x4 floor beam. So I'm gonna have to put in some supports, I think here, cut them right about here, and do another one on this side, and then put a stretcher right between the two, so I could then mount the Unistrut right underneath that. So I wanted to explain kind of what's going on with the mounting process, since it's kind of dark underneath the crawl space and you really can't see how this is kind of operating. I got the inspiration for this by April Wilkerson. She did some outdoor storage mounts that use the same thing I am using with the struts and the bearings. But anyway, here's the box I'm making. Here is the 2x4 that's mounted on the inside of the box. Here's the Unistrut on top, and here's the bearing. Alright, so one bearing there, another bearing here. So this bearing is this bearing, and this bearing is this bearing. This guy is mounted to the top of the crawl space floor joist, and you've got the Unistrut here. So this one's mounted to the box. This one's mounted to the upstairs, or the crawl space. And what they'll do is they're going to slot into each other like this. And then the bearings will roll inside each of the struts. And as the cabinet opens up all the way, it'll be cantilevered and hanging like that. So that bearing will be inside this Unistrut, and this bearing will be inside that Unistrut. And there'll be tons of pressure when it's all the way extended this way. So you really have to make sure these two mounting points are really strong. Another thing is that since I'm going to have a little bit of a down angle on the box, it's not going to sit flush with the wall. So I'm going to actually put a little extra angle on the front of it, so when it is closed, it'll sit flush with the wall, right on top of each other. So he'll be the top one mounted on the floor joist, and this one will be in the box. When I made the box, I routed a 3/4 inch slot in the bottom so the bottom side of the box could slot into that router section to give it a little bit more weight on the bottom of the box. So if I put heavy stuff in there, it would hold. So if you do decide to do this project, one watch out is, let's say you have to mount this unistrut to some wood like I'm going to do here. There's some big holes here, right? And your bolt is going to need a washer. And you're thinking to get a nice wide washer like this. Imagine this hole's a little smaller. If you use that kind of a wide washer, then the roller bearings are going to get pinched and they'll jam and they won't slide. So you actually have to get a smaller sized washer, angle it left or right in the corner of that, angle it so it's this way, and your washer will grab hold, it won't fall down the middle. So either angle it this way or this way, and if you do that and it goes sturdy, then the bearing can slide over that washer. For the left side of the drawer front, I had an uneven brick wall to deal with. So I used a scribing tool just to scribe that uneven line and then transferred that to the front of the door. If you ever have a need to raise a work piece off the ground or off a table, a real easy way to do it, and a trick, is to use an inflatable soccer ball, and it'll raise and lower the workpiece, in small amounts, and it's pretty effortless. Anyone ever had that happen to you? Didn't break, just rolled. For the handle, I got a kind of a cool idea to use an electrical outlet, an old school electrical outlet, but not running power to it. It's just like a facade. And so I was going to mount it on the front and modify it to where I was going to put some rubber paracord across the back and you just push your fingers in and push the two sockets in with your finger and grab the centerpiece and then pull the cabinet out from there. It worked out pretty well.